Good morning, card fighters. This is Lightblaze here from Team Crimson Sky. I am doing a deck profile for my Drajeweled deck. So, for me, it's been a while since I've done deck profiles properly. I used to be very prominent in Vanguard, but over the past 5 years, I've had struggles, so it's hard for me to do one. But this deck gives me a lot of confidence. So, right here we got Drajeweled. Of course, you have Julius Draco Kid. Of course, you can use any starter you want, but that's a given. So, for my grade 1, I decided to go for Deep Sonicer. I know, Jewel Core is usually a staple, but the extra Soul Charge helps, especially with Drajeweled. You got Jewel Neil, on hit, Soul Charge 1, then Rotapon, Soul Charge 1. If you have 3 or more cards with different grades in Soul, draw a card. And then, of course, we have Drajeweled. Shiny. So, once per turn, Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 2, or Soul Charge 2, sorry. If all the cards Soul Charged have different grades, you may draw a card. And then, of course, there's his attack. His auto skill. When he attacks a Vanguard, I can Soul Blast 4 cards with different grades, choose one of my opponent's Vanguards until end of turn, increase or decrease its power to 1, and if my opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, this unit gets +1 critical as well. That can be devastating. It'd be probably more devastating if there was an on-hit, but probably, or not on-hit, guard restrict, sorry. Blech. Then we have, of course, the 3 other copies of Drajeweled for the set, because you want to be able to Persona Ride, makes it more fun. Now, I only run 2 Ristle Galar. So Ristle Galar has an ability when he attacks a Vanguard, if you Soul Blasted 4 more cards at the same time for the cost of your Vanguard's ability. This turn, you can put a card from your hand to the Soul, draw a card, and choose one of your opponent's rear guards and retire it. So I run 2 copies of him. He's not overly devastating, but it can help clear the field a bit. Then I run 2 Pandemonium Tactics. So it Counterblast 1, use Soul Charge 4. The rest of the abilities are more for Bruce, but it's Final Rush card, but the Soul Charge really helps. So then, of course, you gotta run 4 Rockagore. You got your restanding unit here. So, this unit attacks a grade 3 or greater unit. If your soul has 4 or more cards with different grades, this unit gets plus 10,000 power to end the turn. That's pretty helpful. Then, when you Soul Blast 4 or more cards at the same time for the cost of your Vanguard's ability, if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, Counterblast 1 and stand this unit. So, yeah, that can lead to a lot of devastating attacks, especially if your opponent's Vanguard has been reduced to 1. I honestly like the feel of this deck. Hard to say. It reminds me of Prominence Glare a little bit. Not a whole lot of superior calling, but there's plenty of that. Plenty of that pressure. What can I say? This deck has given me a lot more confidence in the game than I've had in the past 5 years. I've been playing since 2011, 2012. Well, no, 2012, 2013, yeah. I took a break for a while after things happened, but I'm back, and this deck is bringing me back to who I was before. So, next card I have here is Demonic Stone Dragon Matalvera. I run 3 copies. When this unit is placed on rear guard, you can Counterblast 1, choose a guard from your drop zone and put it into your soul. Then, if your soul has 4 or more cards with different grades, this unit gets plus 10,000 power. So, say you only have a grade 1, a grade 2, and a grade 0 in the soul. But you have a grade 3 in the drop zone. This helps you get that last grade, so that can be very handy. Of course, you gotta have your counter charger, Selfish Engraver. Once attack hits, soul charge 1. But at the end of the battle, this unit attacked. If your soul has 10 or more cards, you put it into a soul and counter charge 1. I run 3 copies. I don't do a whole lot of counterblasting in this deck, but it's better to have it just in case. Next, I run 3 Power Gem Dragon. So, Power Gem Dragon skill. When this unit boosts, if you soul blast 4 or more cards at the same time, for the cost of your Vanguard's ability this turn, counterblast 1, look at the top 2 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 card from among them, put it into your hand, and put the rest into your soul. So that can be very helpful. I don't tend to use this ability a lot, but when I do, it's handy. This one seems unorthodox, but Diablos Madonna Sheena. So, when a suit is placed on rearguard from hand, put one of your other rearguards into soul, look at the top card of your deck, and call it to rearguard or put it in your soul. It does have a typo, but if you don't have Matavera and you have what the grade you need on the rearguard, it's going to really help you build it. Plus, if you get really lucky, you can call a really good card from the top of the deck. Happened to me the other day. I had 3 cards in hand after I Persona Road. I called Matavera, put a card from the drop zone to the soul. Called Sheena, put Matavera into the soul. Then I called Rockagore from the top of the deck. You don't always get that luck, but when you do, it is amazing and it is scary. My opponent was not expecting that at all. I run 3 Brainwash Swirler. I know, I should be running 4, but I don't want to overdo the soul charge because I don't want to deck out. Same time, if I get 3 on the field, I'm good. If I get 2 on the field, I'm good. So when this unit is placed on rearguard, you soul charge 1. And then, when your card is put in the soul by soul charge, your Vanguard's grade 3 or greater gets plus 5,000 power to end a turn, and that stacks. So, say you have him on the field, 2 of him on the field, 2 Rockagores, activate Pandemonium Tactics, 20,000 power extra. So that can be scary. Got 3 Repelled Malice Dragon, the PGs from set 6. I like the art on these ones better than the other ones, honestly. So when this unit is placed on Guardian Circle, choose one of your units, and it cannot be hit until end of battle. If your hand has 2 or more cards, you choose a card from your hand and discard it. So you gotta love the possibility of a free PG. It's always entertaining. Of course, you gotta run Elementary Sanctitude. So it is an order card. It's a blitz order. If your opponent's Vanguard has triple drive, this unit can be played without paying a cost. Play this with discard a card from hand. If your Vanguard is grade 3 or less, choose one of your units, and it cannot be hit until end of that battle. Remove this card from the game. So that can be very, very handy. And then we have the trigger lineup. So 4 of the crits from the trial deck. 4 of the crits that go to the soul. There is 3 draw triggers that gain an extra 5k shield when they're put on Guardian Circle if my opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater. And of course, this is one of the scariest over triggers in the game. So if you reveal that offensively, it affects the game for the rest of the. It affects your Vanguard for the rest of the game, because then every turn your Vanguard will get plus 10,000 power and plus 1 critical. On top of the 100 million power during the turn that you used it. And we got 2 of the trial deck heal triggers. We have 1 heal trigger that gains an extra 15k shield if the opponent's unit has attacked 2 or more times. Then 1 that gains an extra 15k shield if attacking units is critical is 2 or greater, and it's increased by a non-trigger ability, or its original credits 2 or greater. So yeah, that can be very helpful for Shield. Um, yeah, I found a lot. I never thought I'd go for this deck, but I decided to try it out, and it seemed to respond to me pretty well immediately. Of course, you gotta always make sure you go for good quality product for your decks if you wanna stay on top of your game. Well, you don't have to, but it keeps them safe. There's magnetic locks on there, and it's nice interior, as well as a dice holder. But yeah, this is the deck that I am currently maining. Before this, I've been maining a Flag Rig deck. Flag Rig is a fun one. I might do that one later on. But I definitely enjoy this deck a lot, and I would love to get more card fights in. Drajeweled Mask is interesting for set 10. It was revealed in the episode. But I find it more meh than anything. It's not very overwhelming. It can be scary, don't get me wrong. But I'll see what the other support shows, and once I have that in hand, then I'll go from there. Alright, so this is Lightblaze signing off. I'm the captain of Team Crimson Sky. And yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful day and a good night. Whatever time zone you're in.